News Desk, thank you very much for making time to join us. I am Ashley Mazuri. We begin with a developing story about maize importation, and a section of members of parliament are now demanding that Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, CS Kiunjuri, should step down to allow for investigations. The legislators claim that the maize trade in Kenya has been infiltrated by cartels who destabilize prices of the staple commodity from time to time. Let's cross over to parliament and listen in.
Who is contradicting who? You or your SFR, a manager. And I told them clearly, he is supposed to get information from me. And if I said something bad about Wekesa, it would have been the headlines. So for me, I've only responded to what I've been asked. And therefore, if Wekesa has taken upon himself to challenge his minister, that is insubordination. And it's a very serious offense, insubordination. And therefore, if that is the route he has chosen, it is okay. I cannot discipline him. Chairmen of parastatals are not within my domain of appointment. And therefore, I'm very safe, I can assure you, but give me some more prayers.
Thank you very much, Honorable CS. That's what I wanted to say. Before Osoro also gave out his advice, was that I think after the entire cells are complete, the NCPB finishes the cereal they have, we will have enough space to receive this new harvest. As you rightly put it, that you are not short on planning. You do your planning. So I think it is high time now. We also add our voice to the coming purchase by NCPB. You have enough money in the strategic food reserve. We need minimum 3,200 shillings per 90 kilo bag. There is nothing that can justify any more that SFR or the ministry coming with a figure, ridiculous figure like 2,300 last year or 2,500. So now you have a feel of what is going on. And so please work out a proper price for this current year for a 90 kilogram bag, so that when you appear before us next to come and advise us or tell us the price, that it is a price that is acceptable to motivate the Kenyan farmers to be able to produce more. This is my take in that.
Thank you. I think it was that direction I was heading. That is very good. I just wanted to add that, considering that this time you did not bring in subsidized fertilizer, so you really have to look at the cost of production. I only wanted to add one thing, that maybe sometimes, Waziri, when you want to do anything that touches with agriculture, it would be good for the committee to be aware. And of course, before you take it to cabinet, because you see now you have been accused of maybe media, things happening here, because I thought before you go to the media and discuss anything, you should have waited maybe to get approval from the cabinet, so that if it is importation, it is something that will have been approved. Because you see, as it is now, is that you are doing something else here without the Committee of Agriculture knowing what is going on, and then there will be so many questions from each area. I thought you need to come to the Committee of Agriculture first and say, this is what I'm trying, or this is what I'm planning to do. Anybody has any issues about it, so that we agree on the way forward, so that we don't have issues of pulling each other and asking so many questions. When it's going to cabinet, it goes with all our support, so that when it comes out as it has gone through, or there are issues, at least we had a support from the ground, so that we don't have maybe a department saying this, somebody saying this, and the rest. I think that's what I only wanted to add, because when I saw you go to the media now saying there's no more importation, I thought you had already had an approval in the cabinet, so it is now something that now we should be discussing. But now I realize it had no approval. Now I think you've withdrawn, so that we are saying there's no more importation.
Thank you, Chair. This is just to encourage the CS that this time we want you to earn a credit, and this credit, for heaven's sake, please prepare early. We don't want a scenario like last year. This is early in the year. Let us have everything ready, so that when time, because very soon farmers are going to harvest in some of the regions. Please let us get prepared. Let us not get in a vicious circle of every time there are no gunny bags, there is no money ready, the store is not clean. Honestly, for once, let us have Kiunjuri making the buying of maize for the farmers and the farmers feeling happy for once and pray for you for some blessing. And as I finish,
Yes.
I wanted just to make a remark that I don't agree with you by saying that the millers have closed is an indication that there is actually a shortage of maize. The millers could be closing down for maintenance. Their normal maintenance, who knows? We have to have an authentic report that they are actually closing because there is shortage of maize. Thank you.
So, Honorable CS, I give you 1 minute to conclude, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. And the only issue, that conclusion is that you also work on my budgets, and we know what is there for the Ministry of Agriculture and what I can be able to implement. However, for the first time, we have money ready. You know, other times you go buying, then go to Treasury because the FAD has no money. I've assured the committee we have now enough money to buy the next crop, and everything is put in order. Last one, Mr. Chairman, I'm surprised that Honorable Tilen has nothing good to say about me. Even the fact that he comes to my office, we laugh and have a cup of tea. It's very unfortunate.
From work.
Otherwise, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I want to appreciate the CS and the team from the ministry. I also want to thank members of Agricultural Committee who have been here since 11 o'clock. I also want to thank Fourth Estate.
They asked me to table this. Can I table it after?
Yes, please. You can table now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's the task for the report. Oh, very good. Very good.
Okay.
How about the one on sugar?
At least then I said
We are just talking about maize now.
No, but this
Here, the sugar one will be here.
The sugar is there.
No, we are just finishing the maize one first. So, yes, thank you very much. Now, I just want to concurrence from members that because some of the questioners are not here and they are on recess, it will be unfair for us to prosecute these questions in the absence of these members. So can I suggest that we postpone this until those who are interested parties, some of whom have already called and told us that they are at home. So I think with those few remarks, I want to thank you very much, Honorable CS. We will advise you when next to come and answer these questions. Plus, kindly prepare the sugar task force report and coffee task force report as well. Plus, is there one on avocado and macadamia?
Maybe on camel.
So thank you very much, and the meeting is adjourned.
Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock there, CS Kiunjuri, saying that the government has reviewed its decision to import maize from Mexico. He also told the National Assembly Committee on Agriculture that the government is instead looking at possibilities of allowing millers to import maize from neighboring countries in the Mombasa region. He also said that the government has been selling maize to millers at a price of 2,300 shillings for a 90 kg bag, and thus millers have no reason to increase the cost of maize flour from 90 shillings per 2 kg packet to 120 shillings per 2 kg packet. Now the CS appeared before the committee moments after a section of lawmakers from the maize producing regions demanded for his resignation of a controversial payment of 1.8 billion shillings to Commodity House, a firm based in the United Kingdom, in advance payment for maize imports. CS Kiunjuri, however, dismissed the claims and said the monies paid to the company was for pending bills. Let's now listen into some of views from the farmers who have also weighed in on this situation on the maize row.
We therefore demand the following: that the Cabinet Secretary in charge of Agriculture, Kiunjuri, and the Principal Secretary in charge of Crop Development, Professor Amadi Bonga, immediately resigns to pave way for investigations into the illegal payments. 2, that the Director of Criminal Investigations, DCI, and EAACC immediately launch investigations into why the payments that in our opinion was designed to defraud the taxpayers and hurt farmers were made without the knowledge of SFR board. That the DCI and the EACC probes and hold to account individual at the CPK who authorized release of cash from SFR account without consent and ascertaining the existence of board minutes or resolutions authorizing the suspicious withdrawals. That the CS and the PS confirmed that the payments to the commodity house company in advance payment for maize importation. That the SFR board comes clean on whether it authorized the payment, and if not, explain whether they have invited the DCI and the EACC to investigate the loss of cash under their watch. And then that the Treasury ring-fenced, because there is 12 billion that is meant to purchase maize this year. That the Treasury ring-fenced the 12 billion meant for purchase of maize in the last season and proceed of sale of stock held at SFR. And then we are also that SFR regulations 2015 be amended so that SFR becomes a body corporate. And the section 72G, section 12.1 of the said regulations be amended to remove the PS for crops as the administrator of the fund and be replaced by the CEO of the fund. I hereby table the document from the chairman SFR complaining to the ministry over the unlawful withdrawal of 1.8 billion from Strategic Food Reserve Trust Fund Central Bank account. The information that we have is that the Cabinet Secretary and the Principal Secretary disregarded the opinion of the SFR board. The law is very clear that there is you cannot incur any expense in that account, and unless you get the approval of the SFR board via minutes tabled. So that's why we are here today to call for that the minister immediately resign so that this matter is handled properly by the relevant agencies.
MPs from maize-producing regions, they're just weighing in on that issue. We will be getting to the farmers a bit later. We want to take a short break here.